Welcome to another episode of Ground Floor, where we can agree to disagree, still be family. I'm working on stuff, so I have the intros back. Be patient, people. I'm your host, all title Joe Lee, my fellow co-host Jerome, or brother Rome. Got the glasses on. We're gonna drop some knowledge tonight.
What's good, good people? Hope everybody's doing good tonight. We got a good one for you. Let's go.
All right, and we got fellow Cooley alum, panelist of the show, Kia. Bring her to the stage. Welcome, Kia.
What up, what
Yeah,
up, what
what up,
up?
though?
What's the deal?
Hey, we trying to get it in tonight. Let's get it.
Let's go.
Title this one, Weird Tales in the Gym. It's Jerome has an experience.
Oh,
Go ahead and tell your truth, Jerome.
oh my goodness. Let me say this, folks. These two individuals on here has been knowing me since the middle school days, so they know how skinny I was back then. And I used to always get teased about how small I was. It wasn't until college that I started exercising and getting into the gym. And so we'll just say at the age of about 19, 20. So you do the math on that, over 2 decades of working out. In all of my years of working out, I have never experienced what I experienced on this past Thursday. I'm at the gym working in the squat section. The young lady to the right of me, I see her there, but I don't acknowledge her because when I go to the gym, I'm laser focused. I'm focused on what I'm doing. I got my music on. And most times, honestly, I don't even say good morning, good afternoon. I'm just in the zone. So it's early afternoon. I would say about 1 o'clock. All of a sudden, I see she talks to the staff. I didn't think nothing of it. I'm steady working out. About 5 minutes later, she moves down to 2 machines away from me. And I guess it was bothering her. So she comes up. She says, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know I didn't want to do this behind your back. But were you recording me?" I said, "Wow." I said, "No." I said, "My phone, I usually stand it up because I don't like to lay it on the floor. But I said, I don't even look if the camera's facing you or if it's the face side. But I said, I could show you my phone." She said, "Could you show me?" So I showed her. It was a black screen. "I'm not recording you at all." I said, "Actually, I'm listening to music." So she was like, "Yeah, I just encountered some weirdos out here, and people were recording without my consent and things like that." And I said, "Well, first of all, I'm married." And then she was like, "Well, that doesn't have anything." I said, "Well, I'm not a creepy dude like that. Like if I was recording you, I would have asked you, 'Hey, can I record you doing your set?' or something like that." So I just found that to be strange and weird. But what killed me with that is the outfit she was wearing. You wearing yoga pants, but yet you telling me you traumatized. If you were so traumatized, you would have been in there looking like a tomboy in the gym, in my opinion. So it just it took me back where I was like, wow, in all of my years, I have never had a chick that I seen in the gym come up to me and think that I was being a perv and recording her. So I think I would have took it a little better if it would have been somebody of a different ethnicity. But the fact it was one of the sisters, I just was like, okay. So now I got to be conscious of which way my phone is when I'm in the gym, so I don't have to encounter that again, because that blew my mind, to say the least.
Let's get a female perspective. What you think, Kia?
It's interesting. Very interesting. But what it does kind of bring me to is where we are right now in society, right? Number one, on her thinking that she had to address that simply because we are in an age where we record everything and um people are pervs, you know what I mean, and they will go and start recording people. Heck, folks record people and they not being a perv, they just recording just because they're like, oh, this look crazy, let me hit record real quick and let me record people. I know it just in being in different settings and people will record and I say, you didn't even ask the audience if they wanted to be recorded, right? It could be in church. Right now, we stream. We don't even ask the congregation, is this something that you want? You praying, or you know what I'm saying? You falling out, and they got you on camera doing so, and that's an intimate moment that you have with God. Like nobody even asks anymore. And so yeah, we often see these reels of people in the gym and different things that they record and everything like that. So on one hand, I get it, especially if that has happened before. But on the other hand, looking from your perspective, right? It's like you here minding your own business and hadn't even thought about that. And then somebody came and approached you, like, didn't give an inclination, didn't turn her way and look, didn't wink, didn't blot her eye, didn't even smile. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, you know, and you have that. And then one of the things that you kind of mentioned is how she was dressed. And I think, yeah, I get it. You know, a lot of times people say, well, you know, had you not been, but the thing is, if I'm in workout gear, regardless of if it's a sports bra and biker shorts, or if it's a long t-shirt and some big old jogging pants, the point is I'm there and I'm working out, right? And so exercise gear is exercise gear, depending on, and it also depends on who's wearing what. You still should be able to wear whatever and not be harassed or looked at as, well, you showing off your assets while you in here and you doing squats. Like at the same time, like uh, this is yoga pants is actually to be worn to exercise in, right? So it's like, you know, we often are held with the responsibility of not looking too sexy when we're doing anything. And then held with the responsibility of somebody conducting themselves in a respectable manner, right? And it's like that's still on the individual. Not true enough, you can't expect to have your whole crotch out and somebody not look. However, it still is inappropriate for another person to feel that that gives them a right or deem them to have the authority now to say something because of the fact of what they have on. So it's just like it's really weird the times that we're in. It's almost like people think that they always have the authority to do something, to record people without their permission, to address people, then thinking that they did something wrong without just asking first. Like, hey, it would have been simple without even asking staff to get involved. Like, hey, bro, like, you wouldn't happen to be recording me, are you? You know, then you could have said, hell no, I ain't even thinking about you, girl. You know what I'm saying? You would have easily been able to answer, but we're quick to jump the gun, I think, in these instances because people are so brass. Like, it ain't no boundaries. People just do whatever they want to do. And so it leads people to be very defensive, sometimes for no reason and sometimes for good reason, you know. So that's just kind of my take on it.
You right. You had a right to wear whatever you want. The thing that stands out to me is you're saying you're traumatized. If you're, I'm no clinical person, but if you're traumatized, you might take other options to work out with less people in there, especially guys. That's the weird part to be. Because they do have gyms for women to go only, or you go early in the day or later. Because if you go to gym enough, you know the peak hours where it's going to be a lot of people in there. So if you're someone that can just verbally tell someone you've been traumatized, that's a powerful word to use.
Yeah.
But you hear with all the dudes around, that kind of put it in a weird light, like, well, why don't you do something so you won't be traumatized again? Well, you might be earlier or later or something different than at peak hours.
Mm-hmm.
To where you feel comfortable to accuse someone without having proof that they're being a perv.
Yeah, and that's my main thing in terms of the being willing to accuse without having proof. I'm more so on that. Trauma is relative. You know what I'm saying? Well, the way trauma somebody might call something trauma or the way trauma might show up is different for each person. It doesn't have a look. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of times we try to put well, it would look like this. If you was traumatized, you wouldn't have did that. But that depends on the person and how they're interpreting it. My main thing is, why accuse someone of doing something and you had no proof that they were doing it? That's more so where I'm at than with the words of being traumatized. Everybody's traumatized about something, right? And so that's another thing that we're kind of in terms of sensitivity and what that looks like for each person and all of that. But I'm more so on being responsible um for myself and my actions, and then also caring about the other person at the same time. I'm not gonna come to this man and accuse him of doing something and I have no proof of that's what's taking place. And communication is everything, and communication could take place. Now if he's a creeper, of course it's gonna be like, no, I ain't doing X, Y, and Z. But at the same time, if what's my responsibility in it? And that's basically what you were saying, Jeff. Like, okay, so if I did think that I was being recorded, number one, I could easily go and ask you. Or if I say, nah, I'm not gonna do that, well, it might be another way that you can make sure that you're not recorded. You could move away from that person, which Jerome said that you did. You could go to another area in the gym. Like, let's just see if he happened to come back next to me after I moved to this other area. You know what I'm saying? Then you could kind of say, like, oh, okay. Because if I move and now I'm behind you, and then all of a sudden I'm behind you 2 rows with 3 people in between, and then you maneuver your way right next to me again, or back where now you in my view, and you can start recording me again. Then I have more grounds to stand on. Like, and you following me around the gym, bro? What's going on? And then I might alert and say, listen, oh boy, I moved one place, he done moved another. I asked him, he said no. However, this is what I'm seeing and what I feel. So I don't know. We gotta be responsible for ourselves, and then also how we land for other people too. And I think that's the thing. It's like, well, it's too much of I and not enough we. And so we do have a responsibility to care for everybody that's around us.
Yeah.
Hey, that was good. Both of y'all touched on some good stuff. And when you start talking about the trauma part, like Jeff was alluding to earlier, there's several different things out there for young ladies who have been in some perv situations. I just want to give some advice. Like Jeff was saying, they have gyms that's strictly for women only. Maybe that might be an option for you. There's also gyms that's 24 hours. Maybe you can go in the wee hours of the night if you feel safe doing that, or you go in the morning, so that you could prevent yourself being in there with many men and things of that nature. And lastly, if you have your own home or a townhome, create your gym at home in your garage, or extra room that you may have, because you just want to remove yourselves from those type of situations that can put you in a triggering position. When I was there, all I was thinking is, what if she ran up on a dude who wasn't as laid back as me, who wasn't as nice as me? That could have triggered one of these young cats, and he could have really went off on her. Be this, be that, get out my face, that type of thing. And I what I really hope happened is that the energy that I presented to her let her know that, what I'm saying, that ain't even what I'm on. First of all, I'm not even looking at you. And the young lady did have a body, but that's how much of a zone I'm in when I get to the gym. I see you, but I don't see you. Like, I'm over here doing my own thing. I can care less. I'm not there to talk to you, get your IG, your Facebook. I'm not there for that. And there are some guys that do go to the gym strictly to meet the young ladies. Me, that's not my thing. I'm strictly there for the workout, get it in and get out. So, this was actually during the day when I'm working. So a lot of times, instead of going to lunch, I just go to the gym. And I'll have my phone there just in case a customer calls and things of that nature. But I'm literally zoning in. And I just took that like, wait a minute, okay, this is going to be a time for us to touch on it and shed some light that if this is something that you truly are traumatized about, maybe you want to look into some other avenues to feel comfortable 100% of the time.
And it could have went left where they agreed with her, revoked your hookup, banned you from whatever that gym is, all of them. It could have went way left, and you did nothing wrong.
Well, I would hope they wouldn't just jump to a conclusion without investigation, but you know, it could. One of the other things I wanted to say too, in regards to that, is like, to my girl and her daughter go to the gym, and one of the things that they talked about was the difference between going to a gym for fad and going to a gym because you seriously work out. And so one of the gyms that they attend is Powerhouse. And so from what they were saying was, it's like, this is for your serious people who work out on a regular basis. They have a community there in terms of, because people go there on a regular basis, like people not cutesy working out, like they straight up like lifting, they serious about their exercise, right? And so but still in going there, because it is co-ed, they still are faced with people who, with guys who want to talk to them, right? And so one of the things that she said is like, I like going to this gym because they're serious about working out. The other gyms are not. So sometimes to say, well, maybe you should go to this particular gym or that particular gym, if you know that you're one that's serious about working out, and this is, you have a right to be there without being harassed, without being recorded, without being sexualized. And so, you know, I think we just need to have a responsibility when it comes to protecting each other, right? Because so many times I see too that people don't say, listen, if you are a woman that have an issue with men, then I need to be speaking to you, right? And if you are a man that's victimizing, sexualizing, and harming women, then as a man, I need to be standing up and saying something to you. So one of the things is, I'm sorry that that happened to you. That's not the type of guy I am. And if I was ever to see a guy who was doing that, then I'm gonna call them out on it, right? The same way that I would for when I see women who talk down about men and say, well, all these men up in here and they, you know, they do this and they do that. Hold on, sis. Like, no, because the men that I'm around, that's not how they are. Right. And then also as a woman, like I'm gonna say, like, you wrong. Right. And so I could call out my sister. And so I will hope that as a man to be a protector of women, to be able to say, like, no, I'm sorry that that happened to you. That's not who I am. I'm actually offended that you would accuse me as such, just because of the type of man that I am. And if I saw any other men doing something like that, I wouldn't hesitate to call them out or report them myself. Right. So yeah, just knowing other women who want to be around those who seriously exercise, and that's a platform where they can do that. Because not all gyms are created the same and have the same intention, then I think we have to create a safe space for all to be able to participate. So
that's good.
Good stuff right there.
What's next?
I know the Detroit and divorce. I forgot the other one.
Amon Shopper and Tiana Taylor.
That's right. So something came out claiming Detroit is number one with divorce. So I was talking about Detroit being evil. And I'm sorry, I think it's full of crap.
It probably is.
I mean, maybe back in the day, you probably could argue that because people was more into getting married, but most people who try to do what Jerome talk about, they're here for a good time, not a long time. They ain't trying to say I do. So where you getting these numbers from? How many people did you poll? 20? Ain't gonna say, oh yeah, Detroit's terrible. Oh my God, they don't get married. But then that's a lot of states. Man, go to the South, ATL. People down there have a good time. Houston, there's a lot of spots where people ain't thinking about the ever until later on. They want to get it in. They got some money. They looking good. They want to go out. So to say we just, oh, you go there, you definitely gonna have problems. No, I don't agree. What y'all think?
I always wonder where they get these polls and things from, and who asked you? It's like, who asked you to run these stats? It's funny. It's like you can. I bet if you decided to run a poll the other direction, it'll say, oh, more people between this age group and this age group are deciding to get married in the deep. You know what I'm saying? So me and statistics and polls and all of that type of stuff, it depends on who's asking and who is the demographic that you asked and how did you want it swayed? Because we know through history of polls and statistics that there can be extremely biased. So whatever.
Stats ain't real. I learned that in stats class. Because unless you poll every person in the country, you don't have the true data.
Yeah, I agree with y'all. I think I was telling Jeff, it's crazy when I seen that. I'm like, what? But I'm pretty sure they didn't poll everybody. But one thing I can say about divorces, period, whether it's Detroit, London, we ain't even got to stay in the States. We just talking
right.
period. Divorce is divorce. It gets ugly sometimes. It can get nasty.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I can tell you about people who are from the Midwest, we can move to Chicago. We operate the same. We can move to Cleveland, Cincinnati. We know how to maneuver in each city because it's all tied in the same. One thing I think that the Midwest is big on is we got almost like a zero tolerance. we got a zero tolerance. Like you may have a young lady you with and she might forgive you, for whatever you did in your 20s, but you start getting into your 40s, it's like, hey, what I'm saying? Like this, you get to a point to where you on grown man and grown woman. So I feel like although that poll may be jaded and biased, I do feel like the Midwest as a whole, including Detroit, we do have a zero tolerance for BS and foolishness. So once you start getting to your relationship where it's at a foolish point and you like, I'm too old for this. I don't have time for these type of games at this stage of my life. So I think that at that point, I do think people will sign that dotted line a lot quicker because we just that generation now outside of how the church views the whole marriage thing. I just think in a natural sense for your sanity and to keep you off of the show Snapped, you got to do what's you got to do what's best for you sometime and get out of there, and it's just the reality of the thing. And let's just get down to the reality. Used to be a time divorce was regarding around infidelity. Now divorce is because of the financial reasons, finances. So we don't talk about that enough, but it's like, hey, you knew what the young man, the young lady was dealing with when you came into this. And if we work in a 9 to 5, or even if you own a business, all it takes is one thing to happen and that thing go under. And then they're not bringing in the money that they was bringing in, So it's kind of like, were you there for the person or for the money? It started boiling down to those type of things. So I just think that those things are subjective and they kind of biased sometimes. So
now
you really can't take it serious.
Now, just for some stats, they say Medford, Oregon is number one actually.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that in regards to what you were saying, Jerome, like, I'm not saying that divorce isn't high. I know, in terms of that and what's going on right now and today, like, yeah, I agree with that. I think more people are willing to call it quits. I don't think people are willing to stay as much as they used to. I think the dynamics has changed. More people are, like you said, for their own mental well-being, but then also, we got our own money. So whereas people were used to be tolerating, women used to tolerate a whole lot more for security and to be taken care of because they were with a provider and things like that. Being that both parties are in the workforce, then if I could take care of myself, then I might be more willing to no, I'm not gonna take this. You know what I'm saying? So and then the other aspect, I think that people just aren't willing to work at staying married as much as they used to
No,
either. It's like, yeah, I don't like the way you do X, Y, and Z. So this ain't been working. I'm unhappy. We about to bounce, as opposed to being transparent, working on things, being in a relationship and stating that, like, no matter what, I'm going to continue to work at the relationship. I think too many times now, I mean, just even in dating, let alone marriage, but I think too many times now people are willing to call it quits, or as one person might be willing to work on a marriage and the other person isn't. And so many people have so many things that are small that they probably could work through if they just gave up self and trying to be right, that they could work toward and have a lifelong marriage. But I just think that most people aren't willing to do the work in order to do so. It's too easy to just walk away.
Yeah, a lot of people today, in my opinion, focus on the wedding. That little fake show for everybody come eat your food, spend all the money on it. But they ain't heard a damn word that pastor said about sickness, health, good times, bad times. When they get on your last nerve, which ain't said, you need to go cool off and come back working out. They might need to add that in there with it because you might have that day like, here, $200, just get out, please. You did nothing wrong. I just want some me time. They're like, what I do? Like, you ain't do nothing wrong. Just leave. Oh, here say that like you gonna do it, like that makes no sense. I'm like, damn, it do make sense. Oh, she do like he go 200. Go, you and the fellas go out. Come back at 1. Don't come back before 1 a.m. Like, real, like, yeah, just go get out. And you ain't did nothing wrong, just want some me time. And people don't think about those vows they're really saying, in my opinion. They just look at, oh, we had this wonderful wedding, the doves, blah, blah. Honeymoon was exquisite. And now the day-to-day operations of y'all marriage, if y'all had counseling or y'all discuss what y'all going to do, takes effect. Do we both do the clothes, the cooking, cleaning? Who take the kids after school if you got kids? How do we do this? Do we schedule date night? How many times going to have sex? Because for some odd reason, you get married, you become a virgin, which is so weird. But y'all were whores when y'all was sinning. The weirdest thing ever. But people don't think about them conversations. Then they sit up like, man, I just thought we'd be the Huxtables. No, that's work to be the Huxtables. You just don't get married and boom, y'all the Huxtables. Y'all have to work at it. Y'all have to have uncomfortable conversations and figure out solutions to keep moving forward. And hopefully y'all having God in the middle of it. But a lot of people, they look at marriages as, I bought them shoes. I don't like them. I'll take them off. You went through all that to get married, all the paperwork. And after 3 months, like, yeah, it wasn't for me. So you didn't just say you got married. So you want to be in that conversation with, all right, so-and-so. Why don't nobody want to marry you? That's what it was. Which is making the numbers be more higher than what they should be because people don't really hear those vows, in my opinion.
Good point, man. I just think, like Kia alluded to earlier, I think our generation, Gen X, instead of the baby boomers, let's just keep it real. Baby boomer generation was the generation that followed suit with their parents, and some was getting married, some chose not to be married, some got divorced. But let's be real, when heroin, and then later in the 80s when the crack came along, there's a lot of different things that dispersed the fathers from the home. And so when you have that happen, it's kind of like you have a lot of single family households and some not by choice. You have those things that lead to kind of where we are right now. You could just listen to the music. 60s, 70s, soulful, loving songs. Men was crying on the songs, telling you because I love you. You know, they had no choice but to they would, yeah, exactly. They bringing their buddies to sing to their girl and everything. Now it's men too prideful to really put their feelings out there on their shoulder. You call it simp, you call it all these different things. And so now when you look at, marriage, I just feel like in the Gen X generation, you got some people who've been married 20 plus years, things of that nature, 30, which is cool. They've been through their ups and downs. Everybody's ups and downs is different. But I just feel like overall, we got a short fuse in our generation to where, like I was just saying, it's a zero tolerance. It's like, I'm not dealing. It's just certain stuff you're not going to deal with. I even said on here before, I've personally talked to people who they are only intimate with their wives once a month. And I can tell y'all, one time out the month, we might as well sign the dotted line today. I'm not going to no counselor. I don't need none of that. I don't need no dang intimate coach. I'm not dealing with it. It's just stuff I'm not going to deal with. I want Pat. You can go get TD Jakes, NBA Gates, all these other gates. I'm like my man say, Lakers in 5. I'm telling y'all, I'm out in 5 days. I'm not about to be going back and forth. Care what you got to say. I'm signing that dotted line because it's just certain things. You heard them vows, as Jeff was saying, what was going on. I just don't see how you could go from all of that when you're single to now it's legal, and now you got it on reserve. Not the kid. This ain't no cruise where I go like once out the year. No, I'm cool on that.
But you gotta remember the factors, Jerome. She's a woman of the church now. That's an example. Or she's talking to her friends. Or her mom is her.
Where y'all be getting this stuff from? But anyway, go ahead.
No, it is a lot of dudes out here married.
No, these are
frustrated because their wife
things.
On some
so she's a woman of the church now. Anyway, yeah. Go ahead.
You do have some females that have gotten so far into the church where giving my husband head seems wrong. Like it wasn't wrong when we was dating. Well, where did this come from? I've encountered some of these people at Wayne State in conversation like, but you're married. Yeah, but it just, where the scripture had to say that? Well, I don't see one, but don't say the next thing. I'm like, well, he's going to cheat on you or get rid of you at some point. Because you went from giving him head to, because you go to church now, you feel a woman in church shouldn't do it. Okay, you're a do fool. What you do to get him is what you do to keep him. On both sides. Mm-hmm. You got some dudes that switch up. They just women.
Yeah.
And that's weird, but it's a percentage of that too. But I've encountered more married men where you getting it like an ocean. Get married after time. You still getting like an ocean? No, it's more like a lake. Went from ocean to a lake. What happened? I really don't know. She said she's tired, or the kids, but you had kids when we were sinning. I mean, to me, I call it people get too comfortable, in my humble opinion. I got you ain't going nowhere. Woo! I ain't got suck it up saying you live no more. I'm good. He here. You gotta get on Shan Little Boo Boo. Keep doing that. That's what they want to marry.
That's good. And from a male's perspective too, but from a woman's perspective at the same time, with different things and as we grow and things change, once again, it's all about communication. You can't just be like, so if she say she tired, you need to be finding out why. It ain't just one day you just woke up and you tired. Maybe she really is physically tired. Is something medically wrong? Are you older now? Are you going through it? Are you going through a change? Are things different? See, our hormones, y'all hormones is just I'm horny and let's get at it.
I get what you're saying about changes. I get that.
Right. Our hormones is completely different. So now if you do, or if you just that woman that you like, well, because of all the different stuff that you was talking about, going to church and all of that, I don't know, what has to do with that, whatever. That still needs to be it. Everything to me is always like, well, since you ain't doing this, then this is cut off, and that's just that. Like,
no,
you get vows for a reason. So
I've
therefore,
had conversations with both.
There's some communication and conversation that needs to be had. And honey, this is a necessity for me. So we got to work some stuff out because this isn't going to work. Now, what needs to happen in order for me to continue to do this? And just like you said, the same, it works on both sides. So what the man did to get her, he needs to continue to do as well. And then, like I said, it's still that communication factor. Mm-hmm. People got to communicate. I can't just cut you off and you don't even know why. Or either I'm going through something and I'm not transparent enough to say, like, I really don't know why I don't want to have sex, but I'm just not feeling like I want to. And I don't even know how to tell you this because of the thing that I fear that you don't want to be with me anymore if I don't have sex. Like, can we be transparent enough to have that conversation and be real with one another?
I've had some of these amazing conversations on campus. Some women have said what you said that were married. And some have said, well, okay, I'm a wife now. I didn't think it'd be like this. It's kind of meh. It just seemed like it was so exciting when we were dating. Like, y'all still travel, y'all still do. Yeah, we still do the same stuff. So you just sign a piece of paper. But to them, it's totally different. Well, I'm a little comfortable too now because before he come, we going to date. I do my hair, get in the tub. I don't feel like doing all that. I'm like, well, there we go. Can't be that comfortable.
Yeah.
Why not? We married. Nah, marriage don't mean I'm Peg Bundy. I'm good. Put my feet up.
Yeah.
You're going to have problems. And I think on both sides, some people get to some level of comfort where, whew, man, they gave me rough my money. We was dating. I had to do a lot of strange things, eat a booty, do this and that, whatever, but I got her. Whew. I cut all that out now. I'm good. I don't even like doing all that. Then why did you do it?
Right.
So now they thinking they got it hot and ready because this one we down for the team. Let's go, baby. Baby, no. I didn't discuss and do that. Mm-hmm. But you was doing it every Friday. I had 5 other dudes to female myself I could have rolled with, but you was down. You was MVP. Flip side with the man saying about the woman. Now all of a sudden I'm good. Now I'm married to this mother. Yeah. Now for real conversation to have at that point. Because now I'm never gonna start talking like I told your dumb ass. You were better when you were sinning. But your dumb ass want to go read the Bible, get married, and you gotta do it. Forever, ever.
Forever, ever.
And all them yams out there saying, oh, he got a ring on the finger. For some reason, they throw it at you. You a married man with a ring? Don't do it, fellas. We're watching. But they throw it at you like, you go home, let's go to the room. Like, whoa, ma'am, we're at work. We go in my office real quick, like, wow. And I'm have to do this shake, fat. He got a ring on me and someone want him. I've heard some females say that, like, well, he worth something because someone married him. Like, for real, y'all? That's wild.
It's wild. It's crazy that Jeff say that because when you wear a wedding ring, it's almost like a magnet. It's almost like you get more people. It's almost like they trying to trip you up on purpose. You know what I'm saying? You don't wear the wedding ring. You don't have nobody come up to you. None of that stuff. And I'm looking like, I look the same.
Man.
I dress the same way. But as soon as you put that ring on and you go out, oh, how's your day going? How often you come here? Whoa. Like this don't happen. So it's like the challenge of trying to make you fall type of thing is it's crazy out here right now. It's like it's sad the times that we're in because, like I said, I've tested it out myself. Like wearing it, not wearing it. And when I don't wear it, I don't have anybody approach me.
Yeah, we do.
I'm talking about the same places, the same restaurants, the same, you know, I don't really go to too many nightlife places, but let's just say the same restaurants, same department stores, things like that. But then as soon as you wear it and go to the same places, whether it's the gym, the department stores, things like that, you get approached, you know, more. And it's like 7 times more. And it's crazy because that's the time we in. And it's like, here we are about to be a few weeks away from warming up. You know,
Yeah.
you know, we warm up a lot quicker here.
Right.
So it's just a matter of time. They
The
go
yams be yamming, man.
they go, like you said, the yams be yeah, they gonna be out here. Like they got all these songs, and you literally have to be careful, guys, ladies, because people out here praying. And
Yeah.
I ain't talking about praying.
Right.
I'm talking about praying like an
Praying.
animal.
Right.
And you got to be
Praying
careful.
with
Because,
an
yeah,
Man.
because, you know, I tell people all the time, we got to get past look good, because you going to see look good all the time. You going to see look good at Home Depot. You going to see look good when you go to the gym. You going to see look good. Just like I give her kudos. The young lady was actually nice looking, but it was, if I was on that could have been like one of those things where you go approach, but I'm not on that. And it's just crazy because when you married, I always say, keep the boyfriend and girlfriend level higher than the you know, being the husband and being the wife, because you can get caught up in being husband wife. You can be caught up in being father and mother, and you forget all about what brought y'all together in the first place and how you brought those children into this world. So have those date nights, that things that you can afford. Keep it spicy, because trust me, if you don't, it's gonna be some people out there praying on him. It's gonna be people praying on her, and everything looks good in the beginning. Oh, it was just lunch. Oh, it was just you know, we had a company function. Okay.
It was innocent
It
at
was
first.
innocent at first.
Now this stuff that shocked my little virgin mind a few years ago. Don't pray for them. Don't go in there to pull their trash. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Everything all right? You say something nice, encouraging. I pray everything work out for you. You go about your business. Come back the next day. Like, she had a sweater on yesterday. Like, she got damn to move some dress on. It's 30 degrees out. Teeth grinning. Nah, I'm tripping. But if your home girl you work with here, like, they flirt with you now, Jeff. I don't know what you did. Like, I just pray with them. When you pray to home, like, when the prayer becomes sexy. That was the new thing to me, dude. Like, praying for the person got them. Wow. This is wild. This is wild world, man.
You nice, you wholesome. That's just like the married man. You willing to settle down. You somebody's stability, security, provider. That's attractive to those with crazy minds, right? And y'all attractive. Somebody wanted you. The thing is, like, I don't know. It depends on the individual. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get what you're saying, Rome, and I don't doubt it one bit. Y'all have a ring on it. It probably is a magnet. For me, that's a repellent. Like, I don't want you got a ring, you automatically unattracted to me. That's just off rip. Like, yep, off limits, right? But you know, that's a different mindset. But yeah, I think that what you said is true, and we said it before weeks ago when we were on here about keeping it spicy. I think that the things that you do to get somebody, you got to make sure that that's things that you like to do, because then you're going to be recorded. My mother always said it's like what you do to get them, you gotta keep doing. So why I'm gonna do something that I don't want to do to manipulate you to like me, when I know at the end of the day, if it become long term, this is something I don't want to do. So now I got to keep performing and doing things that I don't want to do just because I got you in order to continue to keep you. That's why people stop. Because you ain't really wanted to do it in the first place. You was just doing that to hook the fish. You
I want
wanted
nobody
to
else to get you.
you reel them in. Now after that, you just throw them over in a bucket, and that's just the end of it. Right? And it's like, stop being fake out here. That's my thing. Quit being fake, be authentic, do things that you want to do. Find somebody that's on your level and keep loving on them, man. I think that's the thing. We stop doing the things that's necessary to keep people interested, right? Just keep loving on people the way that you always want to be loved. If you treat people how you want to be treated and treat them like they're your flesh, then everything else will work out, right? I'm not gonna mistreat me, and if you become me, then that means that I'm not gonna mistreat you, and vice versa. And I think that we don't take things seriously. We don't take commitment seriously. We don't take the vibe seriously, and so that's why it ends up. It ain't forever. You say it's forever, but it ain't forever. If it's forever, you're gonna do what it takes for forever. But other than that, you start to see like stuff. You know what, honey? Something ain't right. Like let's do a check-in. How you doing? How you feeling? You all right? Stuff need to. What I'm doing right. You doing right? Like do a check-in. Have a check-in. We good? Some things you missing, some things you need. Oh, well, I noticed you used to do this. You don't do that no more. You know what? Oh, you know what? I didn't notice that I stopped doing that. Okay, babe, I got you. And vice versa. But like I said, we ain't willing to do the work. Marriage is work. So you shouldn't be saying I do if you don't want to do the work.
Say that again for the people in the back on 8 Mile that didn't hear.
You should not say I do if you are not willing to do the work.
Woo! We could stop right there, but wow.
Yeah, because you try to tell them like it's a lot of work. Man, no, it ain't like, okay. Wait till they get on your last nerve one day. Then tell me what you're thinking. Man, that's never, we just so in love. Like, you still love them, but they just did something irk your nerve. It happens.
Teeth and tongues fall out.
Still love them. Go cool off. Come back in the house. Don't go to the bar with the fellas and come back 3 o'clock in the morning because you just added more. It's Civil War now. Like, oh, okay, we had a little dust up, and this Negro going to dip, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay. All right, I'm going to do it. Because you got the tit for tat, then they're going to do it.
Do the tit for tat, the petty tit for tat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, y'all both like, man, wait a minute. We're taking this too far. Like, no, you went 3 o'clock. I'm going to come back. And she made you went over a girl house, but got to the steps like, all right, 3 o'clock. Let me open the door now. We even. I'm like, that's a lot of work. That's too much. Just talk it out, try to work it out. Now, we did mention the NBA player Mon Shumpert, his ex-wife is Tiana Marie. I think she got most of his stuff.
Oh, and then Taylor.
Yeah, Tiana Taylor. Mm-hmm. Then that brings the question: if you had assets prior to y'all meeting, what's a fair departure gift?
That's me. Jerome, start with you. I don't know about that.
I just feel like this when it comes to the celebs in particular, athletes, the entertainers, actresses, actors, artists, whether you're a singer, rapper, I just feel like it needs to be done because you got to protect yourself. You got to protect yourself in this thing because yes. Yeah. I honestly think it's almost at a point right now where it's almost goes without being said that it's wise of us to do it. Because if Kia comes along and she's an actress and she done all of these, Oscar-worthy type of movies, and she has, multi-millions of dollars and several properties, if we split up, there should be no way that I should have access to any of those things because you had that prior to. And it's kind of like things go left all the time and you see these things happen. When you look at the documents that leaked, they said that this was something that happened over a year ago. And you look at the amount of money she's getting and the property she took for the everybody looking like I didn't even know he made that much money in the NBA. So it was kind of like okay, when is enough? Because once those judges get involved, they don't care. They don't care about how you feel as the man or the woman. They just all about getting it done. It's almost like a lottery at this point. Like I can care less who gets the custody of the kids. I could care less what happens over here. At the end, the ones who really care usually put something out there to both parties and say, hey, think about this for your children. These are the ones who's going to be hurt by these different things. They're there witnessing and feeling all those different things. I feel like it's almost getting to be a necessity for celebs in particular.
Regular people too.
They get normal people too, but I just feel like celebs in particular because they have so much more to lose. Can
I ask this question? Okay, so I get that she was awarded all of this stuff. Does it say that he was devastated by it?
I didn't see nothing to say that. No.
The reason why I asked that is that us as, like you said, Jeff said, the regular people too. We see these numbers and see everything that somebody is awarded, and we flip out because it's a lot for us. And sometimes they do come forward and they say, I got took, right? So I'm just wondering, is he feeling like he was raked over the coals by what he had to give her and everything she was awarded? Or is it everybody on the outside is making a big fuss?
That's a great point. What I think, me personally, stuff not leaking for no reason.
Yeah, so okay, that's a good point.
So my thing is, if you're doing it a year later, it's kind of like, because I'm starting to see him on some platforms like podcasts and things like that. So I think sometimes people start looking at you as the piece of crap and you didn't do this, you didn't do that. So maybe he like, hey, got that third party to leak that thing. Let people see what I had to go through, what I had to do with, because I've been silent this whole time. I didn't even talk about it. And so let the streets talk about this thing for me, because men out there would know this is a lot. And I'm thinking that maybe that's what happened. Like, so he don't have to say anything. Sometimes, especially when you're on that platform, you don't have to say nothing, because this is the barbershop talk like we're doing right now.
Right.
This is the things that's going on. Like, man, that's too much, girl. This, and this, And I think it was one of those. Let the people see what the hell I've been through over this course of this year. And you don't hear me crying. You don't hear me, but just that doesn't mean it doesn't hurt, type of thing. So I think his silence is speaking volumes right now, because he's got it in the barbershops. He got it on the platforms where it's in the mouths of the people, and even women are starting to be like, hey, this is a little, excessive, like, wow, type of thing. So that's my take.
Yeah. No. And then I often wonder too, like, we do talk about, like, well, when they came, they had money, and I don't really know a lot about their situation, because I'll be honest, I don't follow celebrities like that. And so it's like, did she already have money when they met, in terms of her being I know she sings and acts and things like that. So, but what about what they forge? What about what they build? And what about the support that they bring to one another while they're together? So we have to talk about what somebody had beforehand. And it's like, so is it to say that just because somebody had something before they met you, and you had your own before you met them, and y'all come together, that you weren't supportive? Like, because a lot of times we'll say, well, they was a celebrity in their own right before they came, and they had all this. Now they split up, and now you get to take, half. But what if your empire got even bigger because we got together and the support that I gave you? Now what? Am I not supposed to get any of that? And we were building together?
Well, in my opinion, if you have assets, famous or not, you should have a prenup. I mean, if they helped you build it, they deserve half. If you came to the table, you was doing real estate or whatever, or a cleaning company, and you worth $8 million, you marry somebody not with money, they ain't done enough to be entitled to take a 7 and leave you with $1 million.
Right.
Because you probably got a chef, you probably got someone doing all the basic stuff that maybe a homemaker might do. So, no. Now, if y'all already both have assets and y'all got that protected, if y'all build something together, cool. Y'all go half on that. But, you know, a lot of people figure, well, you love them, you should trust. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah, I just start laughing. I'm like, I got some folks. I need to get some money from.
Because let's be real. In America, and you're a black man, you become successful, they're gonna take you to the cleaners. Now, if you're a dirtbag cheater, they definitely gonna do it. But say you didn't do no dirty stuff, they still gonna get almost everything. That's where this country works. So if you already see that happening and you built this on your own, to me, you would be foolish to not have a prenup.
Mm-hmm.
You wasn't around. You didn't put this blood, sweat, and tears in to build what I got. Love ain't that strong for you to take everything and I got to start over. And maybe you say you want to leave. I did nothing wrong. But you go to court, let's be real. They're going to look at you and look at her. What'd he do, girl? Yeah, give her everything. Hell no. No. And I've had that argument.
It's going both ways nowadays.
And they be pissing and moaning. Oh my God, he's taking her royalty. You damn right. Y'all do it all the time. What's the problem?
Mm-hmm.
But she's a girl, yeah. It's fair, right? If he worth 300 million, she taking damn near 200. And y'all like, gone, girl. So
that's a lie.
Of her.
That's a lie. You group it. Don't group, because I ain't
not
never
everybody
get no money on that. Don't group now.
Not everybody.
Of us is like sign the prenup and give me one. I got a whole crew of girls is like, I definitely, if I'm with somebody and they say, here go a prenup, they're like, okay, I'm signing it. Thank you. Because in that prenup, I can get everything that I want. See, a lot of times people think about the prenup differently. Oh, he get to keep all of whatever. You get a prenup. That means that you have attorneys and they both have to come together of something that's mutually agreeable. So you get to get whatever you want when it comes to a prenup. You just got to be smart to make sure that you get whatever you want in that prenup. So gladly. Let's negotiate.
Y'all a minority from what I've encountered. Not saying all women, but a good percentage will hope she get everything, which is weird because you didn't help her build it. That's how I look at it. Fair is fair.
Yeah. Especially when it come from, when people say you didn't help them build it if they had it beforehand. I get that. But when you in a relationship together, you didn't help do something. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just on their own, just doing nothing. Even if it was just, baby, you can do this. The support for you to keep going, you still helped. So, but I ain't got to take everything. I ain't got to take everything you got. I just want what I want. So if you got to issue me a prenup in order for you to feel secure, absolutely. But let's negotiate so we both get what we want before I sign on this dotted line.
Yeah, she a hustler though. I ain't never heard anyone say that before. Like, you can do it, but I ain't know about ever pay attention to that. Not bad. Last segment is health. What are you doing to keep your health better?
I'm drinking water. Did y'all see me with my water? No, being intentional about my health, focusing on it, right? So many times we just figure we just go day to day and just do whatever. So I'm just intentional about mindfulness, prayer, meditation, treating the whole body, making sure that I'm drinking plenty of H2O, right? Getting in all my fluids, and then y'all know that I'm plant-based, so I eat my vegetables and my fruits on a regular basis and my healthy grains and things like that. So just being intentional, moving my body more. I work from home, so I'm at a desk majority of the day. So making sure that I'm working out on a daily basis and making sure that I'm moving. Cause sitting too long ain't a good thing. You get stiff when you get ready to get up. We ain't as young as
Good point.
my joints hurt. What about you, Ron?
Oh no, that's good, kid. Like I said, for me, exercising is big. I go to the gym 4 days out of the week. That's one of my things. Once the weather permits, when I get past this allergy season, so I have another let's say 5-6 weeks. So May, I'll start doing outdoor walks, 30 minutes. I usually try to do like 2 to 3 days of that just to get the sun, the natural vitamin D in your system. And then when it comes to, I'm not plant-based like Kia, but I am eating way more fruits over the last 3 years than I have before. Drinking my share of water. They find now you're supposed to drink half of your weight in water. It used to be 8 to 10 glasses. Now you're supposed to drink half of your weight in water. Not judging anybody. We listen and we don't judge. So whatever your weight is, divide it into two. That's what you're supposed to drink in ounces per day. So
It's supposed to have your healthy body
yeah,
weight.
yeah. You want to drink. You want to drink your waters. Me personally, I try to stay away from the sugary drinks because it's not good. A few years ago, I went into for my physical. My doctor's like, "Hey, your glucose levels was higher. I'm gonna have you tested for diabetes," and I'm like, "Whoa." That's blasphemy when you say that word to me. So that was like the scare I needed, and this was in 22. And ever since then, I got myself together to where I wasn't just snacking. Because I'm, as much as I love the gym, I'll be honest, y'all. Let somebody on here say, "Hey, I got that red velvet cake for you." Let them say, "I got these cookies for you." Not only am I coming off that plane speeding down 94, 96 to get to you,
Hell no.
coming over there in the heartbeat. What else you need? Because that's just my week. So because I know that, I stay away from those things,
Yeah.
limit those things to where it's like a holiday, and I don't overindulge. That's the key thing. I get that slice of cake. Hey, baby, you can take that. No, it sound good, but I know me. Sometimes you gotta know you. I eat that whole cake. People, they look at me. Oh, you so small. Damn the size. I'm telling you what
He
I
said, "Damn this side."
damn the
Oh
size. I'm telling
man.
you what I can do. I can eat cake
Hell
by myself
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
in a
yeah.
matter of like 2 days. I'm
Wow.
telling you what I can do. So I always say, know thyself and what you can do, and won't do, good and bad. So I try to stay to where I see my doctor only once a year for my annual physical. I don't want to see him 3 and 4 times a year. So that's my ammo, if you will.
That's good. Know thyself.
Okay. Um, for me, I was recently in the hospital and found out I have diabetes now, so I switched my food, meal prepping, light workout, everything fresh, even lemon waters with real lemons. Not bad. So I can switch thing around.
Look, a kid got hers. Okay.
It ain't bad to do it that way. Like, okay. And I always be obedient because y'all like, hey, you on camera, you need to talk about. That's why I'm doing this. Like, that'd be the last thing to talk about health. So we keep making health awareness because a lot of foods ain't good for us. And we overindulge a lot. We don't just, if you work from home or you at work, just come home and maybe do 5-minute workout. Just do the old school in the gym, put your arms up, chest down to your knees and back up. Something simple. Let's keep the body going and burning out a lot of stuff that's not good for you. And plenty of water. So that'll flush all the other toxins, liquor, weed, whatever in your system. We overindulge in a lot of that too. Back in the day, I did all that too. But we need to look towards the future to where we still look the same in the next 5-10 years. Instead of like, dang, they look like Skeletor. And they only 55. Like, damn. Because some of you look hard, like, you had a hard life. How are you 25? Like, ooh. But it shows what they've been through, and we don't need to look like what we've been through. So definitely want to promote health and all the great topics we talk about. Try to get stuff up and running with the intros and all that soon. But we still gonna get the content to you. Any last words, everybody?
Kid, go first.
Take care of your health. Take care of each other. Be authentic. Be your true self. People will love you more for it. And you'll love yourself.
Love it. Love it. I'll just say, when you're working out there in public, everybody, just be conscious of the placement of your phone. I learned something this week and all of the years of doing that just shows you can do things time and time again. And you just do it subconsciously, not even thinking. Now I'm gonna be conscious and place my phone face side over so you can clearly see it's not recording anything. It's just to be conscious of my neighbor, male or female. I don't want anybody ever feeling uncomfortable when I'm around at the gym. When it comes to being fit, I'll just say this: at this point in stage in life, I can throw a rock at 50. And so my thing is, I used to think 50 was old. I'll be honest and tell you all that. I used to think that 50 was just old because I seen the way people operate. But now you see people 50 and fly, 60 and fly, 70 and fly. So when you know better, you do better. That's my take.
No, these are some amazing sound bites. I'm grown up. I don't know what to add to that. I don't even feel like being an asshole right now. Like, wow, that's amazing. No, but I will say, definitely take care of yourself. Being you is the coolest thing you can do. Because when you meet someone and you truly are comfortable being you, you ain't got no problems. Because you being you. They accept it or they don't. Definitely take care of your health. This was light one to work through. Today my nephew's birthday. It's been 3 years since he was murdered. I just helped raise him. But I know he was like, man, I ain't no excuse. Do what you do. So keep living, everybody. Keep working hard. Check on your people. Take care of your health. Till next time, everybody.
Y'all have a good night.